Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Crown and today we are going to have some more stories that I hope that you will enjoy. But before we start, it will be so much appreciated if you would subscribe to the channel, like the video if you enjoyed it, and maybe leave a comment down below. These simple clicks would mean a lot to the future of this channel and really reward the effort that I put in every day. And now, without further ado, let's go! First story. You can't be disabled. You're too young. Give me your seat. This happened last night and I was too worked up to write it at the time. But now that it's morning and I'm still hurt, I need to air it all out. For some background information, I am 30, but still look like I'm in my 20s, with severe chronic pain in my back that makes it hard for me to get around without the use of a cane or some other support, and unable to lift anything weighing more than 10 pounds. Have autism, which makes it harder for me to function properly when I get overwhelmed, and severe anxiety that kicks in when that happens. We still don't know what's wrong and I bounce around from doctor to doctor and tried every kind of way to relieve the pain apart from surgery because they need to find out what's wrong before determining if that's an option, and stuff like healing crystals. My pain made it too difficult to keep my job for 5 years come to the start of the pandemic, so I've been on public health for the past year once my work insurance ran out, but haven't been able to find a physical therapist in my area that takes my public insurance until recently. This incident happened after my first appointment since having to be on a public health. Never have I hated being disabled with a mostly invisible disability more than yesterday. My car was having issues and my family was busy at the time, so I needed to take the bus to and from a physical therapy appointment. And on the way home last night, I get this 50, 60-something old lady, the entitled parent. She gets on, sees that there aren't any spare seats, zeroes in on me and starts berating me for pretending to be injured. She'd seen my cane, and to stand and give her the seat I was in because she needed it more than some insolent brand pretending to be a cripple for attention. And how this is what was wrong with young people these days. I tried to explain that I use my cane to help get around because my back is injured, and that I just finished a physical therapy appointment that left me in more pain than usual because they were stress testing to see what my limits were. Since it was my first appointment, I wasn't going to be able to stand for the remaining 20 minutes for my trip back home. And after all of that, the entitled parent wasn't having it. She just accuses me of lying because I'm too young to have anything serious like that. Then ripped my cane out of my hands and tossed it to the back of the bus, telling me to stop pretending to be a gimp, get off my lazy butt and give her the seat. Without my cane, it's very difficult for me to get up from a sitting position, especially if I'm in pain and there is nothing around me to use my arms on to help push myself up. But I need that cane back and I'm feeling embarrassed and humiliated and having flashbacks to my old job because one of my managers would also accuse me of faking my injury and fought me every step of the way whenever I'd have to bring in a note from a doctor regarding accommodations. But I've never had to experience someone slinging slurs and insults at me before, especially when it comes to disabilities. The entitled mother keeps berating me and continues to demand I get up and stop faking, and that I'm just lazy and probably claiming disabilities for drug money, so now I'm a useless junkie, and she'll be reporting me to the state for fraud. I'm shaking and on the verge of tears, and at this point, I just want to leave the bus completely and call home to see if anyone can pick me up, because this was the last bus for the night. So I struggled to get to my feet, intending to use the seats as support on my way to the back of the bus until I get to my cane. But my legs gave out. Just a wave of pain flares up through my back, and I end up falling forward and onto my face. The entitled parent jumped out of the way and accused me of trying to attack her, so she gave me a kick to my side, screaming that I need to be thrown off the bus and arrested. The next bit is mostly a blur because I was in tears at this point from the humiliation, and the impact from the fall just made the pain worse with a kick added on top of it. So I wasn't able to focus on anything other than that. But apparently at that point several other passengers got up, some of them to help me up and check on me, and some to yell at the entitled parent. My cane was brought back to me by one of them, and I clutched it tight like Linus and his blanket whenever Snoopy would try to take it. There was a lot of shouting and screaming, which along with the pain was overwhelming me, and I had to shut down at this point. And the driver had even come up to join in. Eventually, she kicked the entitled parent off the bus for the disturbance, and the entitled parent apparently needed to be dragged off by two of the other passengers, screeching the whole time that I was faking it, and that I was dangerous and how dare they do this to her. Once she was off and the two people that got her out were back on, the driver closed the doors and came over to where I was sitting to check on me, while the entitled parent banged on the doors, demanding to be let back in. The driver asked if I was okay, if I needed to go to the hospital, needed to contact anyone, or if I wanted to have the police called on the entitled parent. I just cried and said I just wanted to go home and that I was sorry for causing everyone so much trouble, saying that I'd try to find my way back home on my own so the entitled parent could just take the seat and that I was sorry for the incident. I just kept crying and saying I'm sorry over and over and tried to get back up to leave. But the driver put her hands on my shoulders, sat me back down and calmly said that she wasn't going to let that person back on even if I left. "You did not do anything wrong," she said. "The entitled parent is the one that was disruptive and violent, and I won't be letting her back on regardless of your decision." She made a deal with me to give her my mother's number, which I had memorized, so she would come pick me up. My mom met me at the bus stop, thanked the driver and agreed to call her if we decided to press charges on the entitled mother. We would need to get the footage of the dash cams. I'm a little shaken up, so I haven't decided on anything yet. My mother is very adamant about getting this Karen some punishment. She's just letting me rest for now. Next story. Atomic Karen. This happened yesterday evening as I was shopping for wine at the local liquor store. Still very fresh in my mind, though I think I may have left out some of the swearing. For a little background, I'm not young anymore. My beard and I know what I'm doing here demeanor lead to people often asking me for help, or directions or whatever, almost regardless of where I happen to be. It happens to me at the liquor store more than anywhere else, but usually only when I'm there helping my mom and dad shop for wine. This particular day I was on my own, shopping only for myself, and as I didn't need to talk to anyone, I was wearing my headphones. I normally wear my headphones as I'm autistic and noise can really bother me at times. They are big bulky earphones that cover my whole ear and have very good noise cancelling. Powers and Wilkins P9 Signature Premium if anyone is curious. Not cheap, but yes, I consider them worth every penny. Normally when I wear my headphones, no one bothers me. People see I can't hear them and just leave me be. So I generally expect no one will be trying to talk to me and assume people talking near me are talking to someone else. All that said, I clocked this Karen walking around the store with a sour look on her face. "I want to talk to your manager, hair done in atomic blonde. We will call her Atomic Karen." I noticed her looking at some cheap white wine as I was grabbing a couple of bottles of Strewn barrel-aged chard. Really nice bottle for not too expensive for anyone who likes cool climate whites. I don't hear much through my headphones, but I heard a bit of a Karen call as I passed her. I shot her a raised eyebrow look as I kept walking. Acknowledging her at all may have been a mistake. I wasn't really paying her attention, but I was aware she was in my space, so I moved along a little faster, thinking I was just in her way. I hear a faint "hey" again, the call of a wild Karen. Again, I'm ignoring her as I move over to the section where they keep the general list sparkling wine, grab a couple bottles of cava, and just as I'm putting the bottles in my cart, I'm suddenly aware someone is way too close to me. And suddenly, my old school rap music is replaced with the din of the store, as my headphones go careening off my head to the ground. I wheel around, having been fully absorbed by my decision of whether I wanted an actual champagne or just some cava for an upcoming family event. But now this interaction was already turned up to 11. My headphones are clattering across the ground. They had made a loud smashing noise on impact and the battery had flown out. My ears were ringing from the impact. And Karen was already laying into me.
Idiot! That serves you right ignoring customers. You need to stop ignoring me and help me right now.
What?
You heard me, idiot. Help me now.
Whoa, calm down. Why are you yelling? Why did you hit me?
You deserved it. You were ignoring me.
Lady, I don't work here.
Yes, you do. Now come help me before I get you fired. Where is your manager? I want to speak to him about your incompetence. You can't treat me this way. Do you know who I am?
At this point, a crowd had gathered, including some employees and a pair of police officers. If you're wondering how police got there so fast, well, they were already there, just outside the door. They were getting some homeless people to move, as they have been hanging out in front of the doors, begging for change. I walked past them on my way in. They had come inside to investigate Karen's screeching. It was at this point where the initial shock of being hit in the head for literally no reason was starting to wear off, and I was suddenly realizing my headphones might be broken. They are beefy designs, cast aluminum and leather, but they are still a delicate set of electronics. I start looking around the ground for where the pieces that were not still attached to me by cord had gone. Apparently this was a huge insult to Karen, because she slapped me and shouted,
"Pay attention when I talk to you. You want another one?"
She raised her hand to strike me again, and she was surprised by a firm hand on her wrist. Her rage was about to be turned on whoever just grabbed her.
"Don't you dare touch me, you little piece of trash! Who do you think you are?"
She raised her other arm to hit her assailant as she wheeled on him, but he interrupted her tirade as she realized who had her arm. "Ma'am, I'm Officer X. You are under arrest for assault and disorderly conduct. Unless you want to add resisting arrest, I suggest you cease your tantrum and come with me." Well, this quietened her right down. Her tone immediately went from one of angry demanding to one of contrite mewling.
"Oh no, you see, this man assaulted me. He tried to sexually assault me."
We'll see what happened when we check the security footage, ma'am. But as of this moment, you are under arrest. Now, are we going to have a problem here? She went with the police and was put in the back of a cruiser while the other officer took my statement. I was calm, surprisingly calm, all things considered, or at least not combative. So I wasn't placed in cuffs. After checking the security footage, it was clear that she had assaulted me for no discernible reason. Unfortunately, my headphones were indeed damaged, and the part that holds the batteries in was nowhere to be found. So as it turned out, this story isn't over. I was told I could sue her for the value of the headphones if she wasn't willing to pay for them. When I talked to her, sullenly sitting cuffed in a squad car, it went roughly like this. "Lady, you broke my headphones, and a piece is missing now. You're going to have to replace them."
"Whatever. How much do your headphones cost anyway?"
"They are $1,000 plus tax."
"You're crazy. I'm not paying for that. Screw you."
So yeah, that's it for today. I'm suing the lady for replacement headphones in small claims court. The officer told me that with a police report to back up my claim, it's pretty guaranteed that she'd have to pay in the end, but for now I'm waiting on the headphones, and it may take a year or more before the court date. I don't know when it will be yet, but I'm for sure not letting this go. In the meantime, Karen is being charged with felony assault and disorderly conduct. The cops said I probably won't have to testify against her, as with the video evidence, she'll probably just plead guilty. Next story. I am technically on the clock, just not for here. For context, I worked going door to door for a utility company at the time with a team of 5. We all dress the same in black with our company logos, and in bad weather we have very warm matching raincoats, also with the logo. We also have badges with our names on them and the company's information so people know we aren't random grifters. On this particular day in my area there was a downpour so bad that It was one of only 2 times in 4 years that our leadership decided to pull us out of the field. As this is rare, we don't really have a protocol in place and we get told to hunker down nearby with the company van to see if it gets better before they send us home for the day or back out. Due to this, we decide to check out a small sandwich shop one of the guys swears is the best in the area. So all of us, being wet and hungry, think this sounds great and head right on over to get some food while still on the clock and getting paid till we hear back. The place is small but looks decent. Also part convenience store. They do not have a counter you order at, but an employee that walks around and takes orders, and with someone already talking to him, I know it's gonna be a minute until all 5 of us get our orders in, so I elect to go last and check around the store as I'm in no hurry. After looking around, I see my co-workers have all had their orders in, so I go up to do mine. Due to this, my order is done last and has a bit of a delay. My 4 co-workers are all sitting down and starting to eat at this point while I wait for my sandwich when an older lady walks up to me and starts saying a sandwich order without as much as a hello. I cut her off to say, "Oh, I don't work here," to which I get the confusing reply,
So you're working, but you just don't work here? Aha, sure.
and an eye roll followed by her starting her order again. I respond by simply putting my hand up to cut her off, pointing to the logo on my jacket, which is still soaked by the way. And I ask, "Does this look like that store's name to you?" I don't remember if she said anything back, but my order got announced at this point, so I stepped away, grabbed my sandwich and smiled at her as I walked by her again to sit with the 4 people dressed identically to me that were already eating and digging in. Now you think this will be the end of it with me just eating my sandwich while basking in Karen's indignation, but no. She stomps off and finds a proper person to speak with, drags him back into view and starts complaining about me to him while he desperately tries to explain that I do not work there. By the time we finished eating and were leaving, I still don't think she had placed an order. And now we have reached the end of today's stories. Thank you for watching and see you next time.